get on up to Lesson on Coding.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Lesson on Coding. My name is Ryan Lesson. So in today's video, we're going to be quickly going over how to use a control value accessor within Angular to help give your custom components able to be hooked up to an Angular form, like Angular's reactive forms, okay? So this makes it super easy to create, to basically extract and create modular components that basically contain form data and be able to hook them up to your form easily. So this is going to be a little bit different than how I usually do it. I'm going to kind of skip the live coding in this and kind of just talk through my solution here. And without any further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, so as you can see, we have this screen here, and we have a form on the right here. And basically, we have this radio buttons right here that basically ask, am I a happy camper? And we have yes and no. When we click it, it changes. Okay, so this actually is, let's look at the form structure. So I have our app component here, and then I have our yes-no component, which I generated through the Angular CLI. So within app component, as you can see, I have it right here. And we'll get into how this is all tied in together. I'll go over this. So we have our yes-no component right here, and we basically look up a form control named camper. If we go back to our app component here, I basically, using reactive forms, injected the form builder in here, and then basically what I did here was I just added this camper value. So this is nothing new here on the app component level, okay? Because again, we have, let me just get rid of the sidebar. So we have the form group right here. So this is nothing new. Form group right here, form control named camper right here. So on an input component, on other HTML components, Angular already knows how to, already in the text area, it already knows how to bind that value to form control name. But for example, when we're using custom components like this here, Angular has no idea how to hook this up to the form, the main form. So what we have to do is we have to let Angular know that app yes no is part of this using a control value accessor. So how do we do that? Let's look into it. Okay, so if we come in here, when we look at it, there's a couple of things right up top we need to start with. Okay, we first need to import for ref, and then this input, which we'll be using to add more dynamicism to this component as we go on. Down here within Angular Forms, we'll be adding control value accessor, ng value accessor, and form builder form group, because we're going to do another form in this app yes no. So the most important thing to note here is we're going to be using this providers right here. So provider is like a recipe that tells the injector how to create an instance of that token. So here, we can do this at multiple levels, but here we're doing it at the app component decorator level. And things to know, we're going to provide our ng value accessor, and we're going to use existing. So basically, use existing for ref means that we have something, we have declared the component, but it's undefined, it's not instantiated. And that's what we have with this app yes no component, because we haven't instantiated it. So we have to tell Angular basically to, even though it's declared not defined yet because it hasn't been, through the life cycle to get on the page, wait for it, and then it will basically forward all our references to this component. And multi-true, we don't really need this here. What this is for basically having, if you want to use multiple providers, so let's say we use this in different, we add multiple providers here, it wouldn't just choose the last one as it would do with multis not there. So just to have it true, why not, in case we want to expand on this project later. So then right here on the implements, we need to add a control value accessor. So this control value accessor has a couple things, and let me pull them up right now just to show you the interface for it. All right, so here's the interface for the control value accessor. As you can see, to get this to work, we need to have a write value, a register on change, a register on touch, and then we have an optional value of set disabled state, which we're not going to do for this thing. But just know it's there in case you need to set a disabled state for this custom component. So let's go back to our project. Where is it? Angular has that new custom favicon, which is screwing me up. So I'm just gonna It's all dark now. Yeah, so this is a little different, so it's hard to find it. I think I actually got it. So now that we're back on the page, let's go into implementing those methods. So here we have our write value, which I implemented here. So this is actually for writing, to the UI. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to write the value to the yes/no form, which I've created right here, and we're just going to set the value to value. So this will basically be, when the form gets created with this value right here as, it's just an empty string, we will set the value, respectively and have that work. Okay. So register on change is basically a callback function. So let me scroll up here real quick. As you can see, I have two variables on model change and on touch. So basically, these are just variables that we can link into callback functions if we want to in the future to have something happen when it's on change or on touch. Like an example of I used on changed here, or excuse me, I used on touched here because I had a form with multiple. A custom form with multiple inputs in it, and I didn't want the whole thing to be marked as touched if one thing was touched. So that's one use case of having a function here, a callback function here. So you basically just set it up like this, like when this is called on change, you basically run that function, you subscribe to it, and we have this down here doing the exact same thing. So now that we have all the bare minimum things set up to get this thing to run, let's get down to it. So to see this thing run in action, so we can come back to our app component and we could come down here and we could basically have, I actually already have it, we have a value, we could go into the value changes, subscribe, and we could log the form. So I'm going to pull up the inspector real quick. And let's just see if this works. So we're going to come in here, we're going to click yes, and as you can see, camper appeared, and we have value true, and let's hit no, and then we have it again, so value equals false. So there we go, that's how you kind of set up with an easy radio button. Okay, so now we're going to get into adding a little more, unique features to this, and let's say when I come here and I click yes, I also want to have the option to add a note. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. So move this out of the way. So we're going to come in here, and to do this, first we need to start at our main app.component form. We need to uncomment this and add whatever, and then which is going to be the value we have. And in it, we're going to have a value, and we're going to have notes in it. Okay. So now we're going to come into our app component.html, and this is how we're going to set it up. So instead of having to put, so it's just the same thing, form control name camper, and then now here we're going to do form control name whatever. And I added this notes equals true, and that basically references input I have here, and input to notes. So basically what that's going to do is if that's true, we're going to show the notes. If it's not true, we're not going to show the notes. And if it's yes, we're only going to show the notes then. But if it's, if the radio button state is false, which is no, we're not going to show the notes. But if it's true, which is yes, we're going to be showing the notes input for the user to input additional notes to this radio group. So we're going to come down here, and then we're going to define a new form, and basically we just do it like this. So we come here, we go if this.notes is this, then we set it up like this. So we could actually come in here, and if we could just do it like this. Hold on 1 second. Let's just put an else here. We could come here, put an else. Okay, so this is how we set up one form for it. So here, basically saying if there's notes, we're going to set up with the notes inside our yes, no components form, and if not, we're not going to set up with notes. And everything stays the same here. Pretty simple. So now the only thing left to do is come and update the HTML for it. So we're going to come in here, and I'm actually using Angular material. That's why you see these odd components here. Things to note here is value, to have it set to actual true and actual false, you need to use the attribute bindings to do that, or it's going to be a string. You probably already know that, but just, this messes some people up, why it's always true, why I'm not setting a default value. So if you're setting a default value like I am on my app component here with false, false, if this is not set to this attribute, it's going to be looking for the string, which is always going to be true. So it won't set it, it's not going to set any value there. Okay, so to do this, we come here and we basically have this ng if statement that we look for the notes that we're inputting. So if the notes are there, we're going to also look to see if the form value is true. So I know this is not the prettiest. I do have it as value, but we're just going to leave it for now. And let's see if it works. And we just have to add the form control name of notes here. So let's click here, click yes, and you can see we have notes. And let's add a note. Okay, looks like everything works. So let's refresh the page, try it one more time, and look at it in the inspector in our value changes subscriber that we have right now. So let's come here. Let's click yes. Let's add a note. Does this work? And then let's come here, click it. And as you can see, does this work? Works. And then if we click no, what's going to happen is we come in here and we have the note as does this work. So let's make sure when we click no that we get rid of the note. So now let's make sure to reset our notes when we switch our radio button from yes to no. And to do that, all we need to do is pass a function into our register on changes method. So to do that, we're going to come into ngm init and we're going to do this register on change. So remember, we're running this every time the yes/no form value changes within our reactive form module. So all we need to do is pass in this function that will be called. So we're going to put f here for form, and now let's think about how we got to set this up. So if form.value, so if the value of our form is false, so let's put the bang there, and I forget the shorthand for this, but f.notes, because it's going to run the first time and it's going to be undefined, so we have this first check it's there, then we have to go f.form.notes.length, okay, because we only want to change it if there is a length. So if there is a length, so if it's defined and there is a length, and it's on no, we want to reset it and get rid of it. So we're going to do that really easily by coming in here and do yes/no form dot controls dot notes dot patch value, and we're going to pass in an empty string because that's the value we want to reset to. So this should work. Let's test it out real quickly. I'm going to open up our inspector. We're going to let the page refresh. I'm going to come in here. Way. Okay, so we're going to click yes. Chat info, as you can see, we have notes. Let's enter notes. This is a notes. Oh man, too many. So we have our note right here, and now let's switch it to no. Let's actually get rid of this, and now let's switch it to no. Okay, so as you see, we have two that showed up. So the first one that showed up has our notes as nothing, and the second one that showed up has our notes as something. So not to worry though, because if we come back in here, we click yes, and we look at what it's actually looking at, there is no notes. So the reason why this gets logged after is in our app component level, the register on changes method runs before our app component is updated. So that's why we see this being logged before. So just know that even though it's being logged after, just know that value is being changed. Okay guys, so that's everything from Control Value Accessor, just a real quick tutorial of how to use it and how to instantly create, custom components that can be very, very dynamic. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, take care.